All right, my loves, I don't have a whole lot of time. The van that's coming to pick me up in 20 minutes will bring me to the bungee jumping place. So I'm going bungee jumping this afternoon. More about that later, God willing. Yesterday was really, really cool. I got off the train in Chiang Mai yesterday morning, and it was very early in the morning. And on the train station platform, I met this adorable little gay boy from San Francisco named Tom. And he had been he went to a wedding in Jakarta. And then he had planned on going from the wedding over to Bangkok to spend a week there with his partner. And right before he was supposed to leave for the trip, his partner dumped him. So he decided, even though he was heartbroken, he would go anyway. So he went to Jakarta, and then he bummed around Indonesia for a little while, went scuba diving and stuff, and then coincidentally found out some friends of his who are flight attendants were going to be in Chiang Mai for a couple of days. So he made the trek from Indonesia to Bangkok, and then from Bangkok to Chiang Mai. And so he was alone all day yesterday, but his friends joined us last night. And so yesterday I was like, well, listen, I'm alone the whole trip. You have nothing to do today until your friends get here. Do you want to be alone together? And he was so thankful. He was just the cutest little thing. So he was like, yeah. So I'm like, I was going to try to get to the top of this mountain on the outskirts of town, because there's a place called the Buatong Waterfalls, and they're known for being the sticky waterfalls. So they're made out of, the waterfalls flow over this solid piece of sandstone, and the way that the water wears away the sandstone, it ends up making it sticky. So you can walk up the waterfall, you climb up the waterfall, and it's really, really neat looking in all the photos. So I was like, I really want to go to this thing. And he was like, I've never heard of it. I would go with you. So we figured out that the cheapest way to go there would be to rent motorbikes and ride up there. So I was like, great, let's each rent a motorbike and we'll go up there. I'll just figure it out. So he's like, okay, I'm really good at riding motorbikes. I've been to Southeast Asia a million times before. So why don't we rent one, and I'll give you a lesson on it. And if you feel comfortable on it, we'll go back and rent a second, and then we can take the motorbikes to the base of the mountain. It's only a 30-minute motorbike ride. So I was like, good call. So he gave me a 20-minute lesson on the thing, and I sucked. There was no way. We were in an empty parking lot, and I almost hit the one thing that was there. There was one pickup truck in the whole parking lot, and I almost smashed into it. There's no way I was going to do this thing. So he was like, all right, if you're comfortable with it, I'll ride the motorbike and you can just sit on the back. So that's what we did. I'm embarrassed and ashamed that I could not figure out how this stupid thing works. You drive it with your hands. Your feet do nothing. It was confusing. So so I rode on the back, and he got us to the base of the mountain, and then we walked up the mountain, and you get halfway up, and then there's the waterfalls, and they're 100 meters long, and there's ropes and stuff and a ton of other tourists there, and it's a national park, right? So there's signs and stuff everywhere. It's very safe. But it was really cool walking up the waterfalls. It was really cool. The water flows over the stones more slowly than it does over other stones. You wouldn't notice it at first unless you were looking at it, and then you stop and look at it and you're like, wait a minute. It flows over the stones almost like it has a higher viscosity than regular water. It's sticky. It's beautiful, clear water. I mean, the little pools that form, along the waterfall are clear all the way to the bottom, and there's little water skaters, these little bugs that skate on the water, and jungle everywhere. You're in the mountains in the jungle, and it's just awesome. So we climbed up to the top, and we thought it was so much fun that we walked back down the muddy, steep staircase. Very treacherous. I think walking down the staircase was more dangerous than climbing up the waterfalls. We walked down the staircase to the bottom and climbed up it again. And then we hung out in the park for a little while, and then right as sun was getting ready to set, we decided to go back down the mountain on the motorbike, down to the bottom of the mountain on the motorbike. And so you're not at the top of the mountain, you don't ride the bike all the way up to the top, but you're a third of the way up or something like that when you park at this parking area. And so we were essentially going down, not a mountain, but a hill. and you're high enough up that you can see the jungle and all the mountains in the distance, and it's lots of farmland out there. And the farmers, when they grow these crops, like once they harvest them, they collect all like the debris, like all the dead plant matter and stuff, and they burn it in big piles in anticipation of planting new fields. Right? So you go and there's farmers burning these huge piles of leaves, and the smell is amazing. The smell is so cool. Between all the flowers that grow in the jungles alongside the road, and then the burning of the leaves and everything, the combined smells, and like the deep, rich, damp soil of the forests and everything, just the combined smells are like there's no better way to traverse this part of the country than like on the back of a motorbike, because to have this air hit you, like it's the first fresh air I've had since Ho Chi Minh City. Like all the air in all the cities are so disgusting and gross. Like being out there and smelling this like sandalwood, bougainvillea sort of like tropical rainforest smell was just unreal. And then to top it all off, like the mountains are like 7 different colors because of the way the sun is setting, and they just go on and on and on forever. And there's like a light mist at the base of the farthest ones, and then the sun hits the mountain and there's like a million colors in the sky. And it was just like, oh, I'm so glad I went. And honestly, like I guess it's good that I wasn't trying to navigate on my own motorbike, because I wouldn't have been able to pay attention to any of that stuff. Like I would have just been terrified about careening down a hill. And they drive on the left side of the road here too, so I would have had to figure that out. Yeah, it was Tom was a very good driver. He was a little slow, but I mean, I'd rather too slow than too fast, right? And so we ended up getting caught in awful traffic on the way back, but it's fine. So then we dropped off the motorbike, we went back to our respective guest houses to like freshen up and take naps, and then his friends arrived, so he met them at the night market, and I caught up with them at the night market, which is enormous. The night market here makes the one in Siem Reap look like a kiosk at the mall. Like the night market here spans at least dozens of blocks, and most of it is covered by a giant tent that goes from the rooftops on the left side of the street across to the rooftops on the right side of the street. So it's just this huge white tent that covers blocks and blocks of city streets. And then there's all like the shops and restaurants and everything like that, and then there's the vendors that roll their carts out onto the sidewalks and the sides of the street. And there's lanterns and fans and lights dangling from the top of the tent, so it's super colorful. And basically anything you could possibly ever want to buy in your life is there. Like if you want dried mangoes, or a set of Dr. Dre Beats headphones, or like this blinky light up thing that you stick to the front of a t-shirt and it blinks images in tandem to whatever music you're listening to. There's clothing, like nice clothing, beautiful clothes, tons of different kinds. Bathing suits, candle holders, handmade crafts, jewelry, tons of food. And then off like to one end of it is the food court itself. And this is the reason I came to Chiang Mai. And this is the reason I'm staying an extra day, because I filled my belly with so many foods last night and I still didn't get to try all the things that I wanted to try. So I'm staying an extra day, literally just so that I can go back tonight and eat more of the food there. I figured what better way to spend today than going bungee jumping while I wait for nightfall. Because really, like, that's my goal. That's what I'm on about. Last night, I went around, when we met up with Tom's friends, they're 4 flight attendants from America, and Louise, Lindsay, Anthony, and Chase. And Anthony and Chase are also gay. So Anthony, Chase, and Tom, like super flamboyant, like flight attendant gay boys, like I love them, adorable. And then like Louise was already drunk and she was in love with me. She kept saying like how fun I was and how pretty I am and how she loves it when she goes on a layover to Boston because it's one of her favorite cities. And I was like, oh, next time you come, I'll show you around. We had a ridiculously good time together. We found this, there's like a bar car that you go to get cocktails. They're so cheap. And there's a big platform built up above it, with like hay bales and like steel mesh tables. And the rule is if you can figure out where the hidden ladder is to get up there, you can go and sit up there. And it's the only place in the entire huge food court that you can see the whole thing from above. There's no other place to get high enough up to like have a bird's eye view. Well, we noticed it, we found it, and the people that were up there were just about to leave. So they showed us where the ladder was. And we climbed up the ladder and we all sat up there and drank our drinks and told stories about traveling. And Louise was absolutely hilarious. Like, she's like, you have to be a flight attendant. You really have to be a flight attendant. If you like to travel, you have to do it. And I was like, yeah, I'll do it. Like, show me, I'll sign me up, sure. And then I'm like, how much does it pay? And she's like, it's shit pay, but you get free flights. And I'm like, we'll talk. They were all so funny. And like I said, the drinks were good and they were cheap and the food was good. We ate like chicken on a stick and deep fried prawn. And I finally had khao soi, which is what this area of the world is known for. Chiang Mai is like known for khao soi. It's supposed to be one of the best dishes in the world and they only make it well here. It was pretty good. It was like a really smoky yellow curry with pickles and a whole chicken drumstick in it. It was different. It was good. I think the place that I had it probably wasn't like the best place to get it, so I'm going to try it again tonight somewhere else. What else? We ate so many amazing things, so much great stuff. And then I was determined to get good sleep last night, so I left at a decent time. I left at like 10 p.m. and it's a 20-minute walk back to my hostel from the night market. So I said goodbye to my friends. I left at 10, walking back, and there was a British lady that I'm sharing my dorm with. Her name is Pip. She's absolutely lovely. She had actually given me some herbal supplements to take to help me sleep after I mentioned to her that I was having trouble sleeping this whole trip. She said she left them on my nightstand and she said, you take these as soon as you get to bed. Do not take them when you're brushing your teeth. Do not take them in the shower. Like, get into bed when you're all ready to go to sleep. Take them because they hit you fast and they work well. So they were on my nightstand waiting for me. So it's 10 o'clock, I'm walking back, and I'm so close to my guest house. I'm like a block away, and this woman pops out of a building out of nowhere. American lady, speaks perfect English, just like me, and she's like, hey, are you hungry? And I'm like, what? And she's like, it's my birthday, and I own that bar across the street, and we're having a barbecue to celebrate my birthday, and all the food is free. So if you want to come and join us, there's a lot of people already there from all over the world, and we're all eating barbecue food, and there's plenty more for you. And she's like, come on and make some new friends. And I was like, well, I'm super not hungry because I just stuffed my face at the night market, but I would like to make some new friends. That sounds cool. So I followed her to her bar. It is indeed her bar. Her name is Missy. She's from America. She moved here years ago, opened a bar. She also runs eco tours during the day. It's a really cute little bar. And there were 3 couples there. There was a couple from the UK, a couple from Barcelona, and a couple from Paris. And they all spoke just good enough English that we could all communicate with each other. And Missy kept coming by and like refreshing our drinks and making sure we all had food. And she was so adorable and sweet, and like definitely you could tell she's a business lady. She was not getting drunk with us. She was not being silly. Like, she was just making sure we all had a good time. She was like the host of the party. And before I knew it, it was 2 a.m. And I was good though, because I really wanted to get good, healthy sleep and not wake up with a hangover today. So I was really good. Like, she kept offering drinks and drinks and drinks, and I only had 2 beers, and then I kept asking her for water. And like the people around me were doing shots, and they were just like, oh, you should drink, like drink with us. And I'm like, no, it's hard enough to understand you guys as it is, no offense. So no, thank you. So that was good. Like, I did good, but I got back much later than I wanted to. Went to bed, took the sleeping pill, knocked me out cold. I got 6.5 hours of sleep, which is good enough for me. It was uninterrupted, dreamless, beautiful sleep. Like, I woke up feeling totally refreshed for the first time since living memory. Like, it was great. And then I ran into Pip, the British lady who had given me the sleeping pill, in the lobby, and she was like, I was so worried about you last night. You didn't come back. I thought you were going to be here early. You said that you wanted to get some sleep, and I know I'm older than you and I'm not trying to be your mum, but I just really was worried, and I'm so glad that you're back now and you're all right. Did you sleep all right? And I was like, yes, thank you. It was awesome. The sleeping pill was awesome. And I asked her where she was off to next, and she said Luang Prabang, which is where I'm off to next. And she said she found a really cool, really cheap, really exciting way to get there, and she wrote it all down and explained it to me how to do it. So I'm going to do the same thing. I've already booked the bus ticket, which marks the first leg of the journey there. That leaves at 8 a.m. tomorrow. So so bungee jumping now, night market for more good food tonight, and then off to Luang Prabang in Laos tomorrow. All in all, yesterday was awesome, last night was awesome, today has been pretty good. I'm just relaxing in the garden here in my little hammock, just swinging and chilling, waiting for the van. And then, like I said, if I survive bungee jumping, it's gonna be all uphill from there, for all downhill from there. So I will talk to you guys later, God willing. Love you, miss you. Bye.